So we all have done something in our lives that was bad, but was really fun. Hello, my name is Sweet John, and I'm the Director of Experience for YourBikerGang.com, and I'm here to tell you our story of branding bad. So to let you know a little about us and what we do, YourBikerGang.com is a guided tour experience in Austin and San Antonio that lets our riders unleash their bad side by joining a biker gang that sees the sights and explores the city on fat tire electric mini bikes. But before we became a biker gang experience, we were something else. Let's go back a few years. Our founder, Ryan Turner, lived in downtown Austin, and he wanted to find a better way to get around that wasn't driving a car because of parking, and he wanted to find a more cost-effective way of getting around town also that wasn't using an Uber. So he did his research, went on the internet, and he discovered the world of electric vehicles, specifically those that were primarily used in Asia. He found one that reminded him of the mini bikes from the 70s, and he had one shipped to Texas. He fell in love with it. And not just that, people who saw him riding it fell in love with it also. He saw a great opportunity here. And he started a company called Hardcore Scooters and found a manufacturer overseas that worked with him to create a unique version of one of the more popular models of e-bikes that he wanted to replicate. Now, he had the bike design, he had the supply chain, he created the branding, the website, and so began the next step, sales. Now, the response from people who saw the bike was incredible. How fast is it? How far can it go? How much? I can't wait to get one. When can I ride with? So in the first few months, even with all this positive feedback and all these, everybody, checking it out and taking it for a ride around town, seeing what it felt like, he only sold two. So he called a friend of his, Jason Arrington, and if anybody is into car shows, on Motor Trend there's a show called Iron Resurrection. He's known as Shag, the wheeling dealing salesman on the show. So they got together and he came up with some new branding. They changed the name from Hardcore Scooters to Hardcore Mini Bikes. And they went to some bike shows. They upped the marketing budget and got more great feedback. They had tons more test rides, so much more interest. And in all that work and all that time, same thing happened. Only two more sold. Frustration set in. People love to ride them, so why wouldn't they buy them? They discovered the target audience had an unavoidable problem. The bikes were big, they were heavy, and that was part of the allure. But the demographic is people who lived in apartments or condos. They didn't have a place to store it or park it securely. But something was about to happen that solved that problem and was the final nail in the coffin for your biker gang, or for Hardcore Scooters. Rideshare scooters. This was the solution that everybody was going to be using to get around town that wasn't parking. They didn't want to have to deal with parking or the cost of an Uber. They were cheap, they were everywhere. And if you've been in one of these cities that have it, you know they're everywhere, you see them everywhere. That was the end of hardcore mini bikes. So Ryan and Shag sat down, and they tried to figure a solution to solve the problem of this inventory of bikes that he had already purchased and had shipped over from Asia. What do? Do we charge for test rides since everybody still wants to ride them? They found out that when they were doing the test rides that a lot of people wanted to take a couple of them out at a time. They wanted to do it with a friend. So they thought maybe they should do group rentals. It could be, like starting their own personal biker gang. And that's when Shag's eyes lit up. And that's when YourBikerGang.com was formed. Now, we had a new name and a new direction. But as cool as it sounds to say you're in a biker gang, we had to make sure that we were creating the right experience. One of the biggest challenges was removing the negative connotation of what a biker gang was to make sure it was family friendly. We wanted everyone to feel like a badass, but not like they were going to go on a crime spree. It also had to be fun, but it also needed to be a great experience, and it needed to bring home the shtick of being in a biker gang. We had the bikes. We had cool helmets that we found, and these goggles you could put on to create this really fun look. We designed a great logo, we branded the bikes, had a fantastic tour route around the city, a great script to present and kind of bring that shtick home. But we needed something special to bring it all together. The right people. The right people who would be the best tour guides. They would need to love their city and be great with people as well as be a badass. We call them road captains. And their energy, their engaging presentation style, and their love for what they do is what makes your biker gang the success it is. They are the stars of the show. Our road captains embody the fun of being in the gang. They even give our riders fun biker names like Pork Chop or Juice Box. It's not uncommon for our riders to feel a bond with our road captains after a ride. One thing we try to remember every day at yourbikergang.com is that it's always important to think of our biker gang experience as a parody. We weren't making fun of biker gangs, but we wanted to honor what was fun and positive. The camaraderie, the exhilaration of the ride, the enjoyment of the open road. We wanted to make being bad fun and family friendly. We don't allow cursing on our tour, and we take that fun very seriously. Very seriously. We try to bring our biker gang style fun into every aspect of our brand, even our voicemail. Call our Austin location, and you'll hear our epic voicemail. I play it now, but it's almost 3 minutes long, so we're not going to do that. You're not going to believe how many calls that we actually get just so that people are like, you have to hear this voicemail, and they'll play it again for somebody else. So it's something that starts the process when they call to check in or something like that. If you got a couple of minutes, check it out. You'll understand what really starts the tone when people start to call questions and things like that. They hear the voicemail, they're never going to get us on the phone because we want them to have that first taste of that experience. Now, there's one thing that helps our brand of being bad that we can't live without, and that's our riders. They've seen our messaging and branding, so they are expecting that the biker gang experience will, we're going to be a part of it. But from the booking process to the reminder emails, we're always giving them a little bit of the biker gang mantra to prepare them for the ride of their life. We're no ordinary tour. We want them to participate in the fun and have a rad time on the road. Our persistence pays off. This is why our riders are dancing in their seats to the music on the ride, or they're posing and looking tough in photos, as you can see here. We even have our riders show up in biker costumes and bandanas, not because we ask them to, but because they want to be bad, and in the funnest way possible. We even give out membership cards after the ride so they can let everyone they know that they're in the gang. So as our company expands with franchises to other cities, and we bring our brand of being bad across the country, we hope you'll join us for a ride with the gang. My name is Sweet John, and I hope to see you on the road.
Hey, John, thank you. I've just got one question.
All right.
I'm to your left. I'm just over here.
I was wondering, I can't take you seriously with that costume on.
Oh, sure you can. Well, I don't know. My wife never takes me seriously, so I don't need a costume for that.
Perfect.
So why, I just have to ask, how can a guy named Sweet John be a badass?
Tell you what, you just gotta trust. You just gotta trust that. You know, that's just the whole thing. Kind of like Little John being a big guy. We'll leave it at that.
Ladies and okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the badass from Texas, Sweet John of Your Biker Gang.